the 24 hours for Le Mans. It's just magic.
I'm 40 and I'm racing at Le Mans. Had you have asked me 3 years ago if I thought I ever would get the opportunity to do this, I wouldn't have believed you and I wouldn't have said that it was now achievable. But yet here I am, aged 40, and this year I'm going to race at the Le Mans 24 Hours.
Get the power, push, that's it, hold it there, take it down. 4, keep your feet low, 5. These are perfect, keep going, big push to the end. Get in that last one. 4, good, create the circle, don't make it like split movements. 5, so then come in, then go straight back out, that's it, good. 6, come on, you've got it, drive, push. 7.
So balancing my life at the moment has become a lot more difficult. I'm extremely fortunate that I've got a great team behind me at DK. My parents, although in their later years, are still very much involved in the business, and everyone understands and appreciates what I'm doing this year, especially as we are very motorsport-based business, a passion for cars, passion for competition. Everyone fully appreciates this daunting task ahead of me, but also the extreme privilege and once in a lifetime opportunity that I had. So I've been terribly fortunate that everyone has given me amazing support through the year and has been understanding. When I've got a lot on my plate and when I've really under pressure and I'm tired, I think that the team have done a great job of being understanding. But also at the same time, I've had to cut certain things out of my life. The things that you enjoy during a normal year, you have to think about doing a bit less. So it's less holidays, it's less traveling, it's less seeing my friends, and it's more focus on my spare time being preparation and the build towards the race season ahead and the year ahead. Adding into all of this mix, I'm also building a house with my wife at the moment, so I've just got all these different pressures left, right and centre. But again, I think that's a bit of a life experience that at some point in your life you've just got to juggle all of these balls, spin all these plates and keep them going and see, test yourself and see how much you can do, which again, doing this World Endurance Championship is very much the ultimate test of how good you really are on that global stage.
James, what are we doing here?
We are just preparing 7 275 GDBs to do a film for DK on all the different various specifications of the different cars. Yeah, I think the look is different, and so it's probably in the direction of what I'm looking for.
It might just take a while. When you drive, it might be.
It's fine.
Well, let's do the test, and I'll be here anyway. So if you find there's something annoying you, we can adjust it. We'll leave the front cover off for now.
Okay. Today, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably at about 16 and a half. First time I raced here in a GT3 car, 2016. I make it sound like I've raced GT3 cars for a long time, but I did a one-off support race, Road to Le Mans, with Joe Twyman in a Lamborghini, and I hit whatever was there before, which was a different bollard.
Was it solid?
And it broke the headlight, and the headlight was £9,000, which was great.
Roy asked a really interesting question. He asked what happens if they go slow zone while you're in the slow zone. So we would normally, I believe, we'll get the countdown to the slow zone, just like a countdown to FCY. And if you're in the slow zone that will go slow, you have to be at 80 on the countdown as normal. And that means, for example, if this was the end of, this is the end of slow zone 2. If slow zone 2 was about to go yellow, I'm counting you down. You still have to brake to 80 and then accelerate at this line.
Hands in front or behind? Yeah.
Where are we, James?
The second chicane on the Mulsanne, or approaching the end of the slow zone 3 and into slow zone 4.
Open road.
Because we're not on track until Sunday. So it's a real road. It's a real road. It's a proper traditional freight road from somewhere to somewhere in France.
What is this?
Porsche curves.
The exit of the
Well, the start of really, because there's 3 parts to it. But this is the left-hander, which is fully committed. I always thought this was blue plastic. So I'm glad I've never hit it. What did you say?
Go off, you have to stay right at the blue line.
Yeah.
Follow it all the way around.
And looks like there is a bit of marge on the right. If you stay on the wall. There is not so much, huh? Fuck.
Forward to, because I don't really know what to expect. I have a good idea, but I've not done it before. I've done 6-hour races, I've done 10-hour races, I've done 24-hour races in the past, but I haven't done the 24 hours of Le Mans. So it is absolutely something that I'm thinking about every day, and it's in a good way, the whole way that I look at my family relationship, the way I look at running the business, the way I look at my work life, the way I look at my fitness, my training, my regime, what I'm eating. Everything this year is absolutely focused on that big race.
Ollie, what are we doing here?
So we're just waiting now to put the cars on the back of the low lifters to head into town, just to perform the scrutineering process, and then onwards from that we're going to have the team photograph.
It's going to be a long day.
It's going to be a long day, hot and sunny, but it should be good, should be nice.
So we're here at Passage, which is Scrutineering. We've just done our big photo. You'll see.
In the future, I want to race for a lot of years in Le Mans, that would be the goal. But obviously the dream is to be a manufactured driver in hypercar like my teammates.
And then we've done our big photo
Hard work,
in front of the old
but just enjoy the moment
famous
and do the best I can.
town hall, I guess.
Daydreams come to life. All the black moonlight. Sun rays.
Car 59 is having its digital scan. They compare the homologated design of the external bodywork of the car to how we present the car for this event. We have to be within ±5 mil on that tolerance.
Well, I guess I noticed his competitive spirit when we first moved to our farm, and we had a go-kart track which we laid through the field, and he had an off-road go-kart, and he was really quick on this little go-kart, and one could see that he had a competitive spirit.
Well, he was always surrounded by race cars because, of course, we were working on classic Ferraris at the time, Jaguars. There were always cars around us, and when we moved to the farm, he was 4, and so he was always surrounded by cars, by noise, by petrol fumes, and he seemed really enthusiastic about it, so I think it's really started then.
So obviously we came to Le Mans a lot, but one of my biggest memories is going to Arnage Corner when James was 17 years old, first time down here. We used to sit and watch the cars for hours and hours and hours. The red calipers coming in down the Mulsanne straight, and Jimmy was just absolutely engaged with what was going on. And I remember him saying to me once, "I'm going to do this race." And you know what? I believed him at that time. His passion was there. I could see in his eyes that he was going to do it. He was going to achieve it.
It's Sunday night and the pre-Le Mans test is finished. I've had a fantastic day, I've loved it. I initially probably set off thinking, because I've raced here before, I knew the circuit and I'd be immediately on the pace, which was the wrong attitude to take. So I got a bit frustrated in my first session, but after a bit of data in the second session, got down to some great times, really enjoyed it, and took the time just as I was going down the Mulsanne straight to sort of draw some breath and think, oh my God, I'm actually doing the 24 hours of Le Mans. I feel like I've waited all of my adult life to do this, and it's just been the most wonderful day. First moment, it was like, oh shit. I've been struggling in that stint, especially I was struggling with the power steering on the car. It's a little bit intermittent, and it makes it very difficult through those S's to be smooth. And so I'd had a couple of little moments, but when I went through and got onto the grass there, I thought, oh, I've collected that up. But I just missed my braking point, and coupled with the dirt on the tyres, it just went, and I thought immediately, should have backed off a little bit more. But you know, I was chasing the time, trying to get down in my times, trying to get to race pace, and to become fully acquainted with the track in the car. So, you know, you have to take these risks, you push it to the edge. We're here at Le Mans. It's the most famous race in the world. If you're going to push to 9.9 out of 10, this is the weekend to do it. But unfortunately, I've come unstuck. But like I said, it's luckily not in the race. And my immediate reaction was just sorry for the team, sorry for my teammates, sorry for the team. You know, of course, my pride's hurt a little bit, but I'm not embarrassed. It's just the position I put everyone else in. But fingers crossed, having looked at the car, I'm relieved that I think everything will be okay.
Great work, crew. Thank you very much. Very difficult turnaround between sessions, so great job.
I think we find a good pace. I'm comfortable on the car. I think James too, Nicolas also. So now we can focus on the race and walk on.
So it's been an amazing journey with James. I mean, we've seen him starting to racing MGBs, racing more and more classic cars, bigger and bigger and stuff. But every level that James has been at racing, he's always been so welcoming to his friends. He's looked after us so well. And even today at Le Mans, this is it's the pinnacle of motorsport. He's still taking time out to see us, to check we're all right. He hasn't actually changed a bit in personality. He's been a really fantastic friend.
Yeah, cool. Great atmosphere. So many people here. And lots of traffic, so we know we're going to see lots of people. Hopefully we see 10,000, because that's how many wristbands we've got to throw.
Les amis, tout va bien. Very good.
I guess just incredibly proud to be here, proud of seeing what James is doing. It's been a dream for all of us. 25 years ago when we started coming to Le Mans, we never thought one of our friends would be here, and he's gone and done it.
We've had the pre-grid, which in every WEC race is really cool, but at Le Mans, it's just extra special.
You're on the grid, boys are already in place.
You have the jets going by. You have a very special national anthem, very special atmosphere, a lot of celebrities around. Everybody's there, everybody wants to be there. Not everyone can.
I didn't actually quite realise how big Le Mans 24 Hour is. I knew it was big, but like the build-up up to now, it's crazy. It really is crazy, and I think the penny has dropped in my brain now going, shit, this is third race, Le Mans.
So to be there in the middle amongst all these people, especially about to start the race, it was so cool, so emotional as well. Just realize that you're about to fulfill a childhood dream.
30 seconds, and remember to breathe and enjoy. Okay, thank you, Andy.
The world's greatest endurance motor race once more gets underway here, and they will storm along the straight.
Next stop will be full service no matter what, so fuel, energy, tyre and driver.
I had a huge amount of anxiety before I went out and did my first stint. Once I got in the car and got on with it, I was super comfortable and just started to really enjoy the event. I think the first few practice and qualifying, or the first few practice sessions that I had, I felt like, because I've been to Le Mans before, just not racing a GT3 car at Le Mans in the proper 24 hours, that I would be so much better than I was initially, and it took me a bit more time to get up to speed than I'd hoped. So I was a bit frustrated the first few sessions. However, I did take time to really breathe in and say, wow, I'm actually doing this. But when you get out in the race and you leave that pit lane and you go down the Mulsanne straight for the first time, you just suddenly know you're there doing it. And it's just the most incredible feeling, because it's it's a lifetime achievement. Even if you crash on the first lap, you know that you've been to Le Mans, you've taken part, and you've been in the race. So I've just completed my first run in the Le Mans 24 hours, so now I really feel like I can officially say I've done Le Mans 24 hours. We decided when I was in the car that pace is pretty good, so I should do a triple, and it's pretty comfortable. I have to say in the third stint I felt a little bit nauseous, mainly from the vibrations I think, and you really start to feel the tyres going, you know, the fronts especially, and you're making more mistakes and you blame it on the tyres and whatever. But all in all, a few track limits as well, but I think 2, which is fine. And yeah, I just love it. Like, at one point I just had to stop and say, I'm at Le Mans doing laps. And yeah, I think I don't know where we are, but Gregoire got us up to 5th. I think we probably slipped back a bit because of the way we've run our plan. Obviously having me in doing a triple kind of out of sequence with what other people doing. Interesting to see our pace versus other cars. I can see a couple of cars are really strong. But otherwise I think we've got good pace.
So driving at 9 at Le Mans was crazy because it felt like I was in a video game. Obviously I've done it 1,000 times on Gran Turismo, but once you do it in real life, it's completely different.
So that sort of nighttime period is the bit that you sort of think about the most in the run up to the race, and it just all happens so quickly. Just, if ever I did it again, you know, you've got to have your strategy, you've got to have your plan, and you've got to stick to it, you can't get distracted. So I was rudely awoken from a semi-deep sleep, although not that quite deep, probably after about an hour and a half's worth of sleep. I think it was about 4:30 because it had started to rain, which I'd heard in the motorhome, that had sort of woken me up already. But because it rained so heavily, there was a safety car, and it's strategically best that they put me in the safety car, A, so the other two can get some rest because they're going to do the sprint to the end, and B, to get my driver time done behind the safety car was strategically best. But in the end, I did 15 laps at about 9 minutes, which mentally, given how tired I am or was in the car, I feel okay now. Yeah, at the end I was really struggling there to just keep concentration and keep my eyes open. But now Nicholas is back in the car. We've got about 8 hours to go, which has got everything crossed. You know, we look like we could be on for a podium, but we just want to get to the finish.
It's really weird because whenever James has been racing now or in the past, I don't get nervous in terms of the speed they get up to and that side of things, but it's really weird. It makes it's like you're so excited for him, yet nervous, but a good nervous. But I think there's that underlying like anxiety of there's such a, you know, an endurance race. So what I've learned from WEC is that anything can happen. So all I just sit and think is like, please, car just be in one piece and let him finish the race.
So yeah, just before midday, I was doing my stint and I just hear quite a bad sound in a braking zone.
We're on standby. Car in Arnage.
And just two corners after, I hear the noise of something broke in the back of the car.
Request full power cycle, please, Gregoire, and try again. So ignition 1 off, and then ignition 2. Now ignition 1 again. Ignition 2. After full power cycle, did it do anything? No, it's not working.
It was heartbreaking, and just the energy in the garage, just suddenly everything was sucked from out of the garage, and you just looked and turned to every person. You wanted to look and see someone that wasn't upset because you were so upset, and everyone was just beside themselves, and we were just all like totally gutted. I've never seen so many grown men shedding tears. You know, and a lot of that is because you're so, not only are you upset and emotional about it, but you're so tired. You know, you've gone through so much, the 10 days of preparation to getting to that point, and obviously that was about midday on the Sunday. Well, all of the guys had been up since 6 a.m. the day before without any sleep. So am I going to come back to Le Mans? There are probably two reactions to having done Le Mans. Everyone's like, that's amazing, well done, you guys did so well. And half the people, and probably the people who are in the know, they ask you the question, so, are you going to go back then? And it is unfinished business. I don't think it's realistic to ever think, so especially someone like myself who's raced for so many years in historics and has dreamt of doing Le Mans for so many years and has opportunity ahead of them, to think that I would just do it once and not again, you know, but especially now, it's absolutely unfinished business. So I'd like to think that that there might be an opportunity next year to have another go, and if that opportunity is there, I will grab it with both hands. I have to, and I want to.